In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how we generate and book buyer and listing appointments for real estate teams and boutique brokerages on a performance only basis, where you only pay us per appointment that actually shows up. There's no monthly retainers, there are zero setup fees. It's all done on a performance only basis. And I call it appointments in the door. Now, first and foremost, let me break down who this is for and who it's not for. Now, this is mainly for teams of realtors that are high producing already. You guys already have a great sales process, lots of Google reviews, and people love working with you. You just need more buyer and seller consults. Or boutique brokerages that have the same level of reputation and sales process to convert a very high level of appointments that we book for you. And in very limited cases, top 1% solo agents. And when I say top 1%, I actually mean top 0.1%. The agents that have admin and support staff that allow them to go on 30 to 80 appointments per month and convert at a really high level without burning out. So if you are a struggling solo agent that scrapes together 1 or 2 deals a month, this is definitely not for you. This is only for established teams and brokerages or really high caliber solo agents. Now, with that being said, let's move on to how does pay per appointment work? So first and foremost, we set you up with a dedicated appointment setter. So this is going to be an unlicensed appointment setter that will man a portal manager position. So they're very limited with what they can say and talk about over the phone. So they follow a very strict script to understand the prospect's timing, how soon they're looking to move, and what their priorities are, buying or selling. And if the person is looking to make a move or sell a property in the next 3 to 6 months or less, and we understand what their priority is, we book either a listing appointment or a buyer's consultation at your office. Now, most of the appointment setters that I hire and train and manage are based out of Costa Rica, and they have near native English level skills, if not native. A lot of them are from the United States or from the UK living in Costa Rica, or they're Costa Ricans with perfect English accents. And in the onboarding process, we set up an interview where you, I, and the appointment setter meet, and you need to approve the appointment setter before they make any calls for you, because at the end of the day, they're going to be kind of the first step in your sales process. So I want to ensure that you are confident in who we've selected for your account. And once you give me the green light on the appointment setter that I connect you with, I get them set up on a commission-based contract. I train them, I get them up and running, I manage them, I get them all the systems they need to make the calls, to record each of their calls, and I do all of the management side. So it's really a done-for-you process. And once the setter is ready to go, trained and up and running with their systems, we launch some simple ads on Instagram and Facebook. So these ads are going to promote your listings. So this is an added benefit to working with me. Your listings that you currently have active will get hundreds of thousands of additional views and thousands of leads. And you can take these numbers to your clients that own the listings, and you can show them the amount of exposure and leads that you're generating for their property. So that's an added bonus, but essentially what I do is I run paid ads that promote your listings. So you can see here I generated 419 leads for $7 each in a month for a real estate team in British Columbia, Canada. And this was very simple. We promoted 4 of their listings on Meta and generated a ton of buyers and sellers. So buyers obviously come in on these sorts of ads, but so do sellers, because a lot of sellers are looking for their next property before they start getting ready to sell. And they come in through the same funnel. So these types of ads are super efficient and cost effective to generate both buyer and seller clients. And these leads specifically are the ones that your dedicated appointment setter will be calling, nurturing, following up with, and booking appointments with. And like I said, they book dedicated buyer and seller appointments. And the buyer consultations will be at your office or a coffee shop of your choice if you don't have an office. They're not going to be immediate showings where you just jump out and start showing people properties. That's not how we do things. We try and get them to your office or to a coffee shop to give you the chance to sign them under exclusivity before you start doing showings. And hopefully you have a good sales process where you take them through market education, then through showings, to help them find the property that they're looking for as quickly as possible and firm up on a deal. And the seller appointments will obviously be at the property that they want to list. And the one last thing that you should know is every appointment that we book Comes attached with the call recording of the call that actually booked the appointment. So you have full context so you can understand the type of client you're going to be meeting with, what their priorities are, what they said over the phone, so that you can show up with full context to the appointment. And the next thing I want to go over is some of the frequently asked questions that I receive when I talk about this offer with real estate teams and brokerage owners. So the first and most glaring question is, what are the total costs? So like I said, there's no setup fee, there's no management fee, there's no monthly retainer. We handle everything that I already talked about on a performance only basis, where we charge per appointment that shows up. So the costs essentially are ad spend. So what we're paying to Instagram and Facebook to push these ads and generate leads for your appointment setter to call. So to work with me, you and the entire team or brokerage needs to be spending a bare minimum of $40 a day in ad spend. We can scale that significantly higher to hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars per day in ad spend based on profitability. But to start off and to continue with me as a client, you need to be always spending a minimum of $40 per day. There's a few reasons for this. A, your appointment setter is going to be dedicated and only working on your account, and spending any less than this amount won't give them enough leads and opportunity to book appointments to put food on their table and help them make the income that they want to make. And the second reason is, with this amount of budget, there's enough budget to make certain tests and do A/B testing. And if we were running your ads with any less in ad spend per day, it wouldn't give us the opportunity to do sizable A/B tests to see how we can optimize and improve your performance. So the ad spend of $40 a day, $1,200 a month is a bare minimum. We can scale it much more than that, but that is a set cost. And then on top of that, there's our performance-based fee, which is $250 per appointment that shows up. So if we book an appointment and they don't show up, it does not count and you don't pay anything. But if we can reschedule the appointment and they do show up to the rescheduled time, then that counts as an appointment. And obviously if we book the appointment and they show up in the first go, that counts as well. And another thing team leaders or brokerage owners ask all the time is, can we change the fee structure to a per closing ratio? And I'm not willing to do that, mainly because it's completely out of my control. I want to tie my revenue to things that I can completely control, and that's in my team's wheelhouse, which is how well are the ads performing, how many leads are coming in, how many are we calling, how many are we booking in, and how many are showing up. How well your team closes is completely out of my control, so I wouldn't be willing to tie my revenue to your team's skill level. And another common question, is there a contract? What's the minimum amount of time I need to commit to working with you? And the answer is 90 days. So in the first 90 days, we're really ramping things up, dialing in the ads, the appointment setter is getting better and better, following up with leads, getting a hold of leads that came in on month 1. And by the end of the 3rd month, you can get a really good understanding of how many leads will be coming in, how many appointments we're able to book, the quality of the appointments. And then from that point on, it's a month-to-month agreement, and you can cancel at any time with 30 days notice. And the last question that I get asked all the time, is there exclusivity? Are you going to be working with the team that's down the street? And the answer is no. I only work with one team or brokerage per service area. So if you live, for example, in the GTA, I would consider your service area your main town that your office is based out of. So if you work in Mississauga, your area is Mississauga. You don't get the entire GTA unless you're in a small town like Kelowna that I live in. I would only work with one team in my city. But if you live in a massive city, then you get one service area unless your team is huge and we're running tons and tons of ads. And the last thing I want to make clear is I only take on 2 to 3 clients per month, not because I don't want to take on more, but because it is a ton of work to train your appointment setter, manage them, listen to their call recordings, get them up and running and booking a ton of appointments. So I can't really handle taking on more than 2 to 3 clients per month. So if we jump on a call and you want to think about this for a few months, totally fine with me. I want to set the expectations that there might be a waiting list when you come back to get started. And with all that being said, that is how appointments in the door works and how we want to help you generate more buyer and listing appointments on a performance only basis. Now, if you run a team or a brokerage, or you're a top 0.1% realtor that can handle a ton of appointments, then in the description below, there is a link to book a call with myself where we can talk about this in detail, answer any additional questions you have, and I can get you started on the onboarding process. Thank you so much for watching, and I would love to get appointments walking through your front door.